Hello and welcome everyone back to another video. My name is Jikat and today we're back with another banger video giving you guys the latest and greatest of crypto news. And today I'm going to take a deeper dive into what makes the whole crypto industry move. What dictates when we are in the bull market, in the bear market, when is the best time for you to sell, i.e. the top of that euphoric phase, and a lot more things. We're going to be covering theories that you probably haven't heard of. What is the best thing to do right now? Because honestly guys, as of the election results, I do believe a 365-day counter started from that day, November 4th. That counter is that period where you have the highest chances of making the greatest returns within the crypto industry, unless you are willing to wait another 3.5 years of a bear market till you have that second chance. So make the most out of this time. This is why I'm telling people, is Bitcoin going to 150,000 or 200,000, which is basically what? A 2 or 3x. Is that enough for you this bull run? Is an Ethereum going from 3,000 to 15,000? Is a 5x enough for you to be happy from this bull run? Now, unless you're a whale, your answer is most likely no. So you probably want to watch the whole video through. And my whole point is that from this bull run that we have the greatest chances of becoming a whale. Okay, you have to start, first of all, you have to think like a whale until you become like a whale. That's kind of my saying. But without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this. Watch the whole video through. Feel free to have a notepad, write things down. Rewatch this video if you need, because I know I'm going to be dumping a lot of information here. I'm going to be covering a few theories. Theory number one that I'm going to cover is that the Bitcoin halving does not actually dictate whether we are in a bull run. It's just coincidentally that it is aligned with the 4-year cycle. Okay, now another point here is that how bull runs and bear markets work. It's always going to be a cyclical loop. We're either going to be in the bull run and there will be a bear market after it. Things rally up and then there's a correction phase. That's kind of part of the Elliott wave theory, the motive phase and the correction phase, but we're going to be covering other theories, don't worry. Okay, my point is bull runs and bear markets will never go away. It's always going to be a pendulum swing. There's never going to be a super cycle. So don't believe what everyone is saying where, oh, if in 2025, if Bitcoin, okay, this thing right here, if Bitcoin goes to, I don't know, let's say the top, I believe Bitcoin has that great, the aspirational goal is to reach 220K, but a more realistic goal would be a top of 163,000 roughly. Okay, I've been using Fibonacci retracement. It's a really great tool. Using natural numbers, and at the end of the day, we are natural human beings, so I think it's the perfect tool to be using here. And you can see that I'm obviously using previous data to try to understand the patterns of how, how likely we will have, what future data could Bitcoin reach to. Now, understand, obviously, previous data does not dictate for future performance, but that's the next best thing really, is to just pattern match. Fibonacci retracement is a really great tool. Anyways, I believe, okay, when people say, oh, when Bitcoin is at, like, let's say 200,000, a lot of people in the euphoric phase will be saying to you, oh, you'd be stupid if you don't think we're gonna head to 400K Bitcoin. That's not how things work. Okay, at that time we're basically at that euphoric phase where Coinbase is the #1 app in the world. A lot of people are talking about Bitcoin and crypto, everything. Celebrities are already making meme coins. We've already seen that in Solana, but there will be a correction before we can expect the next leg up, and this takes cycles. Okay, usually between bear markets and bull markets is a 3.5 or 4-year phase of a bear market where not a lot of growth is happening, but that gives us a chance to accumulate. And I'm going to show you guys what do I mean by this. But first of all, I want to bring up kind of the title of today's video, Dogecoin. Okay, is it going to go to $1 this bull run? My answer is yes. But does that mean you need to jump in on it to make the best 2x? You know what I mean? Unless you're a whale, you probably are not. It's not really worth your time to buy in Dogecoin for a lot of reasons. I'm going to try to cover them and try to understand my thought process so that you can become an independent thinker. I really want you guys to, be a disciplined trader. Look at things in terms of risk reward ratio. Okay. Now, in terms of Dogecoin, yes, it is a confident investment. Okay, we can obviously see the bottom has been confirmed multiple times in this consolidation period. Okay, but understand that if you're buying it at this level where a green candle has already happened, a god green candle has already happened, you're at risk of, you know, having your you know, entry to fall all the way down to, you know, minus 75%, etc. Okay, do you understand this? Because as you can see from the previous bull run, we've touched the 70-cent mark, but then it fell down like a falling knife. Nobody could have predicted that 70 cents would be the top. Okay, a lot of people, you can imagine, a lot of people said, oh yeah, we're going to be waiting for $1. But actually, yeah, it fell down like a falling knife. You could be sleeping at that time, and by the time you try to react, it's already 60% down. So do understand that with every bull run, there's going to be a peak. Okay, it is very hard for you to call the top. The next best thing you can do is to DCA out. The same way you can DCA in, which is obviously dollar cost averaging, where you don't necessarily know the bottom. So you try to, you know, separate your buys into multiple installments, and by then you'll have a greater entry position, average entry position. You can do the same thing with exiting as well. We don't know the top, but looking at other signals could be, let's say, the total crypto market cap is at, for example, looking at this, again, using Fibonacci retracement, really powerful tool. I think the lower bound of the peak of the bull run in 2025 will be a 7 trillion market cap, total crypto market cap. The higher bound, I think it's not really at 12. I know this box shows it that it's at 12, but I think it's more around 10 trillion. At 10 trillion, that's a huge, huge top signal. At that time, you need to be thinking to yourself, write those rules down, guys. Write those rules down, because you're going to be looking at other people making YouTube videos saying, oh my God, next stop is $500,000 Bitcoin, $20,000 Ethereum. We're not going to stop. It's a super cycle. You'd be stupid to sell. They will literally say this. They will say you would be stupid to sell. Everyone around you will not be aware that, hey, you know, prices are actually too high. It's time for me to turn my crypto assets into stable coins, i.e. realizing your gains. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is why I'm showing you as these indicators. Total crypto market cap, great. Bitcoin dominance, I think it's going to fall all the way down, perhaps 40%, maybe 30%, but 40% would be the, that would kind of be an indicator that, yeah, we've reached the peak of the altcoin season. Okay, keep that in mind as well. You can see here, this is in previous altcoin season. It fell down after basically Bitcoin dominance went all the way up, and this is kind of what's happening right now. Bitcoin has to move first, Ethereum has to follow suit, and then after Ethereum you can expect the altcoin season's turns. This is why I also really like looking at the others chart, which is basically, others is basically another way of saying altcoin. It's every token, it's every coin excluding the top 10 CMC rankings, obviously taking away stable coins. That's basically the definition of an altcoin. So yeah, keep that in mind. This is a great TA that I've done using, again, pattern recognition. You can see that with every altcoin season, there's 2 peaks. Now, peak 1, peak 2, which one's going to be higher? This bull run, I don't know. It is going to be up to you whether you want to hold through peak 1 and then hope that peak 2 will be higher. Okay, I can't really give you advice on that. Obviously, this video is not even financial advice, but I'm just telling you how things have been, the previous data. Okay, and then I was just doing things, trying to pattern match. You can see from the peak of the Bitcoin, from the Bitcoin halving to the first peak, it's a very consistent, roughly 350 days from the day of the Bitcoin halving. So you can see the Bitcoin halving that we have here, which is the one that happened in April of this year. 350 days from there gives us a date of April 2025, which is basically that green box that I have right there. So I expect the altcoin season to rally up and to reach a peak at the beginning of Q2 of 2025. Okay, and then obviously probably a small little correction, small little dip. But by the way, that dip can be a 60% drop, so it might actually shake out a lot of people. This is why peak 2 can actually be larger than peak 1, because people would be calling, oh, that's the top of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Bitcoin can actually reach 120K, fall all the way back down to 80K in 2025, and then rally back up again to 150K, 170K, etc. before it actually falls back down to a bottom, right? And then obviously we have to wait another bear market. Anyways, this doesn't really matter to us because obviously we want Bitcoin to do well, yes, but we don't really care whether it goes to 160K or 200K because we're here trying to make the leverage of a Bitcoin, which is Ethereum. What's the leverage of Ethereum, which is the altcoins. So yeah, keep that in mind. With Dogecoin, why I wouldn't tell people, the IRL people, right, retail investors who don't really know much about decentralized exchanges, about anything outside from the top 10 cryptos, is, you know, you're gonna expect diminishing returns from Dogecoin, okay, from anything really, especially when things are on the centralized exchanges such as the one that you see in front of you, because by the time it reaches centralized exchanges, you can expect it that it already has, you know, it's on that S curve. And this is what I mean by the S curve, by the way. So you can see, obviously, at the beginning, it's an infancy stage. This is Dogecoin, by the way, at, you know, let's say pre-2021 altcoin season. And then obviously the growth phase was, you know, when Elon Musk started tweeting about Dogecoin. And then now we're kind of at the maturing phase, which is the price correction, you know, finding the bottom, which is still, you know, considerably higher than where we are at. And this is kind of how things go, right? You go up, you correct yourself. Now you have a price floor that's slightly higher than where it was before. And then we keep doing these loops. Crypto moves in waves as opposed to straight up and down lines. Keep that in mind. And obviously now we're at the aging / maturing part where I'm telling you guys that, you know, you can expect diminishing returns from Dogecoin, because look at this, right? Let's see the price before Elon Musk started tweeting about Dogecoin. The price here was around 0.0, let's just say 0.0 to something, right? And it peaked at roughly 70 cents. So we're going to do 0.7 divided by 0.00 to, let's say, 27. That's around a 259x. Great amount of x's that you could have made if you called it, or if you're holding it, unlike the actual Dogecoin dev, by the way, which is a very funny story, where the dev himself didn't hold any of his tokens anymore because he didn't believe in his own project. Okay? And imagine, you see your own project make other people millionaires aside from yourself. That must have hurt. This is why I tell people to always hold a moon bag. This is another lesson. If you were planning on selling and taking profits, make sure to leave a moon bag, because you never know if it becomes the next Dogecoin, or, you know, we're not really going to have a next Dogecoin, but if it becomes the next Shiba Inu, you see what I'm saying? Next dog with hat, next, you know, Pepe, etc. A lot of other meme coins, right? Leave a moon bag. You'll be at least safe than sorry, especially that dev. It's a really tough lesson for him, because he sold his entire bag for around like 50K when he could have been a multi-millionaire. He probably could have made easily 10 plus million if he held it to where we are today, or even at the peak. So yeah, keep that in mind. Anyways, that's a 259x. Now let's say we do reach $1, which is, by the way, higher than the all-time high so far. So that's reasonable top for us to call it at $1, $1.50 maybe, I don't know. Is around, basically the price here at all the way at the bottom is around 5 cents. Okay, let's just say 1.1 divided by 5 cents. How many is that? That's a 22x. So effectively, the diminishing return effect, as I told you guys, right? Because Dogecoin is a cycle 2 narrative meme coin now. What does that mean? That means this is its second bull run. That means it's not as fresh as it used to be. Okay, Ethereum, this is its third cycle. Some people say the third cycle curse, but Ethereum is an exception. It is not an altcoin, in my opinion. Bitcoin is like the digital gold. Ethereum is like the digital oil, or the metal. Some people call it. It doesn't really count to that rule with the diminishing. I mean, yes, it does with the diminishing return as well, in theory, actually. But it's the same thing with here, right? Ethereum is not going to do another 1000x, right, from pre-sale, 1000 plus x, or how many thousands of x's it did. Like I think even BNB did a crazy 6800x from all the way at the bottom. So it's crazy, but of course it's not going to make another 6000 something x again. It's diminishing returns. It's in centralized exchanges. It's mainstream. That's the lesson to learn from Dogecoin. This is why I'm telling you guys. Don't be spending your money, time and effort looking into news. Oh, is Dogecoin going to go to $1? All of that for what? For another 2 or 3x? You can make way more out of this. We have a chance every single year, a chance every single 4 years. Make the best out of it, especially if you're not a whale. Carry on watching this video. I will be releasing the alpha in this video. I'll be rewarding everyone who's not gold fishing, right? Who's their attention span is like, oh, did you say not to buy Dogecoin? I'm going to leave. Listen, Dogecoin is still very bullish for a lot of reasons, of course, right? It's literally Elon Musk. He, what does he call it? He's part of the Doge, right? That's such a meme name, the Department of Government Efficiency. But at the same time, another example, by the way, even Elon Musk tweeting about Dogecoin doesn't have that same punch effect, right? In terms of the Dogecoin like pumping, it doesn't have the same effect anymore because, of course, it's diminished. The effects of it has diminished. Keep that in mind. Understand why cycle 1 narratives have the greatest growth potential compared to cycle 2, cycle 3 narratives. Okay, so moving on, just generally a few reasons why we are very bullish right now. Because remember, I told you guys in this video, we're gonna be having a deeper dive to why we are in the bull run. Why, at the same time, Bitcoin having an event that isn't what dictates a bull run. You'll be very, very surprised, guys. You're gonna learn something new today, and it will change the way that you think about crypto and just generally the psychological market behind things. Okay, so before you jump into that, you owe me a like, by the way. You owe me a like. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Anyways, President Trump is strongly considering 0% capital gains tax on Bitcoin and crypto. This is massive. So there's another reason why Donald Trump winning was huge for the crypto community. Big win. And I also compiled a video that I'm going to show you guys in a second. A quick reminder, go follow me on my Twitter. Thank you very much. And as well here, Donald Trump teasing 0 income tax, guys. And honestly, that would be a dream. Personally, I don't live in the US, but having 0 income tax would be a dream. I'd rather get taxed on the money that I spend rather than getting taxed on the money that I earned and then following by getting taxed when I spend it again. It's so crazy, especially here in my opinion in the UK with, you know, a lot of things, guys. Anyways, that's for another topic. But yeah, this is really bullish, by the way. This is what you want. You want a man who's a businessman running the country. Someone who's already rich as well, who doesn't care about making money for himself, right? So I do like Donald Trump, and obviously Elon Musk. I think very powerful duo. And actually, speaking of duo, you can see here, Vivek and Elon Musk will be, running the Doge department. But yeah, in terms of other quick, market dynamics, I also want to give a big shout out to your friend Sami, by the way. I suggest everyone to go watch him. I think he's the number one crypto content in on YouTube because for a lot of reasons. Anyways, he's very seasoned. He does 18 hours of research a day, more than me, I gotta admit. But yeah, big shout out to your friend Sami, because here he shows us exactly what I'm talking about. Crypto doesn't move the way that you think with just up and only. There's always going to be a correction phase. So look at this. Aave went down minus 99 point something %. And then from the bottom of that, it did a 2000x. Shiba Inu, right? The one that we all know. Oh, whoa, I was in Shiba Inu. Oh, look at this. A minus 99%, ladies and gentlemen. And then what followed? This is exactly basically when, the Dogecoin was peaking up. Meme coins became the narrative that time. It still is a narrative, obviously, but it was mainly at that time in the previous bull run. It was also DeFi, or at least DeFi 2.0, because in the 2017 bull run, it was DeFi 1.0, right, which is Ethereum and Uniswap, etc. DeFi 2.0 was in the previous bull market, where it was basically stuff like Olympus DAO, the yield farming, the DeFi stuff like Hex, DeFi 2.0, etc. Now, are we going to see a DeFi 3.0? I don't think that's even a thing, but we might see DeFi becoming a narrative sometime this year, sometime this bull run. Okay, again, we cannot tell The main thing is, of course, investing in communities, right? Which is meme coins. Meme coins is the thing. Some people dislike that, but of course we can dislike something, but it's still a fact that meme coins is the way for you to make the greatest gains. You just have to, there's a lot of psychological checklists that makes a meme coin worth holding. I could cover that in another video as well, but keep this in mind. Okay, this is how charts move. They go down and they come back up. Okay, it's a correction. Look at this, another minus 96% after a 700x. What did it do after that? It did a 3100x. Okay, this is how crypto moves. Okay, the people who are day trading, weekly trading, swing trading and stuff, they're not making the greatest returns. It's actually the people who hold it. Guys, imagine if you bought here at the top, or you've been DCAing this whole time because you believe in Shiba Inu. This is what I mean, by the way. If you believe in something, hold it all the way through till the finish line. If you've been here DCAing, oh, it went all the way down, I'm still DCAing. $50 a month, $50 a week, this whole time. And then you held it all the way to the top because you understood the markets. This is not the best time to sell. We know altcoin season didn't top yet. Coinbase is not the number one app on App Store yet. The people who held here. Yeah, I've met people who have made like £400,000. They went from, employed to self-employed, and their daily job is effectively just looking at crypto, living their life, and be like, all I need to do is find another 500x. You know what I mean? I need to do find the one 500x every bull run. Happy days. I can carry on living. I'm financially free. You know what I mean? He escaped the matrix, the 9-to-5 matrix. Guys, this is the power of meme coins at the end of the day. Okay, this is why I don't even bother with the stock market. It is very slow moving. By the time things go public, you're getting, kind of crappy rates. You know what I mean? Because, by the time the shares, they get really diluted. That's what I'm talking about. It's not really worth it. Unless you're a whale, then it's not really worth it. You know what I mean? Anyways, we're going to move on to, back to this real quick. Or actually, no. We're going to go on to this. This is what I wanted to talk about. Obviously, I mentioned the Bitcoin halving events, which is the previous one, which obviously the one in April of this year. 4 years before that, I'm going to quickly show you guys here. 4 years before that, which is April of 2020, and then obviously 4 years before that, June of 2016. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where I'm telling you, bull runs are not dictated by the Bitcoin halvings. It's a coincidence that it's lining up together. Okay, what really dictates that is the global liquidity index. Okay, so this is what you see in front of you. You can see that we are rallying up where the peak is going to happen in 2025. What does that mean when we're in 2025? Global liquidity index. That means there's going to be a lot more money in circulation. A lot more people will want to take risks. A lot more people will want to borrow money to invest. It's a great time, to make money. 2025 is going to be the year. Okay, we're going to show you guys as well. This is what ChatGPT had to say about this. Okay, liquidity and bullish markets. When global liquidity is high, there tends to be more capital available for investment, which often leads to a rise in asset prices, including stocks, commodities, and cryptocurrencies. High liquidity allows investors to take more risks and allocate more capital to speculative assets, which could support a bullish environment for crypto. Okay, and then here, liquidity peak inflation. More money in circulation. When global liquidity increases, it often means that centralized banks and financial institutions are pumping more money into the economy, okay, which we're going to cover in a second, which can increase the amount of money circulating. This can contribute to inflationary pressures if the rise in liquidity isn't matched by an increase in goods and services. This all makes sense. Anyways, you can feel free to read this. This is obviously by ChatGPT. What do I mean by this? Okay, in terms of money circulating, why is the time right now, which is, if you're watching this video right now, what is a significantly great time for you to be in crypto? Another reason, if we scroll down to this amazing article, okay, we have the central bank policy rate cuts we have the greatest rate cuts since 20, I believe, yeah, 2020, March of 2020. What does that mean? What was March of 2020? That's basically the beginning of the bull market, the previous bull market. So this is a really, really great indicator when central banks are, giving us or cutting the rates. It's effectively allowing for more people to be incentivized to borrow more money and invest, allocate things to speculative assets, including obviously cryptocurrencies. In the previous year, we had Bitcoin ETF approved. We have Ethereum ETF approved. I've even heard people talk about Solana ETFs. I'm telling you, this is the time, especially once Donald Trump won the election in November 4th. It has marked a 365-day countdown. Your chances of becoming a millionaire in 2025 are the greatest in the next 365 days. This is not financial advice, but this is what I believe. I don't have a crystal ball, but I believe in something. Okay, so the second thing that I wanted to talk about, this is called the Benner's cycle chart. Imagine this was made in like 1870 something, 1872. It's actually crazy. 1872, yeah, on a business card, guys. Benner's cycle was published in 1872 business card, and it's a simple theory that aims to predict the market's tops, bottoms. Crazy, 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 guys. Look at this. Okay, you can see, for example, this is the top of a cycle. So here, A, right, years in which panics have occurred and will occur again. So basically, the tops is going to be the trend reversals. This is the time where, we're either going to be hit with a recession or a reset, etc., etc. B is the time, years of good times, high prices, and the time to sell stocks and values of all kinds. So you want to kind of sell at the B level, not at the A level, because at the A level you could, again, if you're waiting to confirm, oh, is it really the top of the cycle or a trend reversal, you could be very late to reacting to it or confirming it. By the time you've already hit a minus 60% realized loss, unfortunately, you know what I mean, from the top at least. So not necessarily a net realized loss, but from the top you weren't as efficient. So this is why I look at the B line is the significant line. And of course, where are we? What is the B line? It's 2026. Okay, so what does that mean? We are in the rally up, guys. And of course, this is not insanely accurate. It's not going to be accurate to the year. So 2025/2026 is the time where you need to cash in your profits. Turn your unrealized gains into realized. And if the simplest way to do that in crypto, by the way, is to turn your speculative assets from your cryptos, whatever you're holding, meme coins, whatever, into stable coins. That's it. In the trusted stable coins that USDC, USDT, DAI, and there's another one that we're going to talk about in this video as well that you probably haven't heard of, where you can flex to your friends, your crypto bros and family, that you've made 150x from a stable coin. How's that possible? Just watch the whole video. So anyways, this is a really great indicator as well. This might be something to do with numerology. I don't really know much about numerology, but let me know what you guys think about this, the Benner's cycle, and of course the other one here, I forgot what it's called. It's made by Cross-Border Capital. This one, the Global Liquidity Index. This is what dictates, guys. You can see it also aligns. It also aligns with the previous. Look at this. The peak of the bull run in the last bull run was 2021. That's exactly where the top of that Global Liquidity Index was. And of course, look at this. From one bull run to another is a 4-year gap. It's coincidentally the same thing with Bitcoin halving. Okay, this is why, by the way, people say with the Bitcoin halving, the year itself is not to be expected to make a lot of gains. But at the same time, in Q4 of each Bitcoin halving, there's been a rally up. And that's exactly what we're looking at. It's so crazy that a few months ago, when Bitcoin, touched all-time high and it fell all the way down to like 55K, under 60K, a lot of people said, oh, I called the top. This is it. We're going to see Bitcoin fall down to 20K. Better luck next time. They don't understand the crypto market. They don't understand the psychological nature, the denial phase. You know what I mean? The build-up phase, accumulation phase, You know what I mean? The optimism, etc. It doesn't make any sense. How can you really say that when you haven't looked at external factors? Sometimes looking at the chart is not enough. Remember, who is buying those charts? Okay, looking at the chart is just one factor. You have to look at sentimental analysis, market sentimental analysis. You have to look at other external factors such as the global liquidity index. You know what I mean? Like, this is, at the end of the day, it's money, the influx of money in the economy. You know, tax, not the tax, I mean, it will be very bullish, of course, if Donald Trump introduced those tax cuts, or, you know, zero capital gains. It will make a lot of people want to jump in on crypto, etc., etc. I mean, guys, if you didn't know, America's holding 215,000 Bitcoin. Okay, this is why, again, Donald Trump is really smart. And I compiled this video, which I want to show you guys here. It's kind of a PowerPoint video. 5 ways Donald Trump will take Bitcoin to the moon. So you can see, number 1, hope you guys enjoy this video, by the way. Donald Trump will fire Gary Gensler. I think this will definitely happen. Great. Gary Gensler, guys, since 2020, when he was nominated to be the chairman of SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, he's been spearing. You know what I mean? He went after XRP, Uniswap, and Uniswap bent the knee for them. And now he's behind a guy called Richard Hart, the guy who made Hex. The guy who literally minted a lot of millionaires. He wants to build a legacy of making 1 million millionaires. Are you going to be one of them? Richard Hart, that everyone calls a scam. Guess what was called a scam at the beginning of its phase? Bitcoin. Bitcoin was called a scam. Bitcoin wasn't available, or wasn't even available to be traded, but one centralized exchange, the Mt. Gox. Bitcoin started as a meme until people realized, actually, this is a great way, a good store of value. The same things that we are seeing with Bitcoin, the early days of Bitcoin, we're seeing again happening with Hex. Hex is doing minus 99%, but guess what? It survived a minus 99%. I also want to show you a chart here. Where was it? Let me double check. Where did I put it? There was a chart that shows how things are, where things are divided, right? You know, I mentioned how the narrative of this bull run is meme coins, right? Is actually meme coins is the bottom of it. On top of that, you have memes, cultures, and then you have after that cults, and then after that neo-religions. Okay, you might be laughing to this, but I'm just saying, Hex is the greatest CTO. Hex is a cult, guys. The community behind it have survived a minus 99%. Think about it that way. Okay, but let's say, okay, you don't want to buy a Hex. You know, it's the thing that did minus 99%, etc., etc. This is why Richard Hart, ladies and gentlemen, he did a 10,000x with eHex, the one on Ethereum, the one that peaked in 2021, right? Because of DeFi 2.0. That was DeFi 2.0. Hex was in the top 10 CMC rankings. Richard Hart wants to do that again. He wants to build a legacy. Did you know that Richard Hart is already a billionaire from Bitcoin? He believes Bitcoin. He understands Bitcoin. So when he calls Hex the better Bitcoin, you know why he's calling that. I mean, you know what I mean? Whether you agree or not, it doesn't really matter. People have become millionaires because of that. And he wants to do that again with Pulsechain, the network that he has created. That is the alpha of today's video. Yes, Dogecoin will go to $1, but should you buy it unless you're a whale who's willing to put in 500k to make a 2x to become a millionaire? No, you should not buy it and waste your time. Guess what? Pulsechain is not on any centralized exchanges but one. Why? Because after the SEC case, everyone delisted Pulsechain when it was actually already in a few centralized exchanges. This increases the barrier for entry. Prices went down even lower. But guess what? When prices go down, your buying power as an investor goes up. People don't realize. I mean, you look at the Wyckoff accumulation. We had a long chance. Pulsechain, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, what is Pulsechain? It's a layer 1 solution. It's a fork of Ethereum. But it's a fork of Ethereum that's done in a never done before way. It's a full system state copy of Ethereum that has launched in May 13th, 2023. Okay. Effectively, it took a snapshot of Ethereum, of all the tokens and everyone's holdings, and cloned it, made its own PRC20 version of it in Pulsechain from day one, making the world's largest crypto airdrop. So if you were a ETH bro, ETH whale, most likely you will have some type of value airdropped to you, to your wallet, same wallet address, if you come to Pulsechain. That's one of the freemium, effects about Pulsechain. One that's not even the main thing or really going for it. The unique selling point is not the fact that it's literally 5,000x. Let's quickly check it here. Look at this. Gas. The fact that it's 3,000x cheaper gas fees than Ethereum, or even quicker, 17% quicker block time speeds. Look at this. Look at the block time speeds, the average block time speed for Pulsechain, 10 seconds, 70% quicker than Ethereum. And a lot of other reasons. The fact that it has a very small market cap, making it its high growth potential, guys. It's the barrier for entry. The step one for people that the people don't take, the step one. I onboarded people to Pulsechain, but it took them a long time to convince them. And guess what? That means that if you did that step one, which is, obviously getting into the blockchain, because it's not listed on centralized exchanges, that means you have to do one extra hop. That means you have to go from Ethereum to Pulsechain, or you have to use another bridge like changenow.io to change your BNB to Pulsechain. That extra hop, that extra barrier for entry makes that is super early opportunity. You are ahead of the curve, or you at least have a chance to be in something that's ahead of the curve. What does Pulsechain stand for, guys? That's the main thing. Now, I mentioned all these, technical things: 70% quicker block time speeds, thousands of, 100% uptime, way better than Solana could ever dream of. Cheaper gas fees than Ethereum and Bitcoin, quicker, etc. Beautiful. It's decentralized as well. We're using IPFS. Show me a blockchain that uses that. Interplanetary file system. You can host your DEX that's native to Pulsechain, pulsex.com. You can host it locally on your machine. You can download the file and host and make it local server, where you're interacting straight from your local file system or from your local machine straight to the blockchain with no middleman. You don't have to trust a .com website. What if that gets taken down? .com is technically centralized. This is not what Richard Heart stands for. What does Richard Heart stand for as well? Real DeFi, freedom of speech. What's happening with him and the SEC, which, by the way, look at the articles. 31st of October, there was an oral hearing. The SEC were there. The judge was there. Richard Hart's 11 lawyers were there. Guess which 11 lawyers does he have? The same lawyers that Elon Musk used when he had his case with the SEC ages ago, when it was about, when he tweeted about, I'm thinking about making the Tesla stock private. The same 11, or at least some of them, Richard Hart is hiring. Guys, these lawyers, you can see the transcript, very confident. Even the judge herself, shout out to that judge, based judge, she knows about crypto. She's asking the SEC, what are you talking about that he's targeting US people when he lives in Finland? Where does the blockchain live? She said, by the way, where does the blockchain live? The lawyers, they were stuttering. They're like, they're bringing up another point, bringing up point A to defend for point B. That's not how things work, buddy. You know what I mean? Let's stick to one point. What are you suing him for? Are you suing him for suing him for the sacrifice phase? Which, by the way, the sacrifice phase, you guys didn't know about Pulsechain. Before it launched at May 13th, 2023, there was 2 sacrifice phases. One for Pulsechain, which is the blockchain, which is no expectations, guys. Again, this is called a sacrifice. There's tons of, check marks saying, hey, this is called a sacrifice. It's literally in the name itself. It's not called a pre-sale. It was never said to be an ICO. None of that. No expectations. It's called a sacrifice. Everyone knows this. There's even a petition, by the way. After all this, there was even a petition made by the community. 40,000+ people signed it, saying, hey, I am not a victim. I have participated in the sacrifice phase. I didn't expect any value returned back. I am not a victim. When I invested, sorry, it's not invested. When I sent or participated in the sacrifice phase, it was not an investment. 40,000 people have signed that petition, and you're telling me the SEC is still going after Richard Hart for calling it an illegal ICO, calling Hex a security, trying to sue Pulsechain? How can you sue a piece of code? This is why Pulsechain is actually much deeper than you think. It's not just a fork of Ethereum trying to be, oh, quicker gas fees, happy days. No. You see, the unique selling point, guys, is what does it stand for? And let me tell you this. Richard Hart is very confident. We're very confident that this case with the SEC will be dismissed based on no jurisdiction, because first of all, Richard Hart is in Finland. He doesn't live in the US. SEC is also trying to sue him by saying that he targeted US investors to join the sacrifice funds, but being in Bitcoin conferences or calling the Pulsechain conference, which by the way, Pulsechain conference was made by a community who's not Richard Hart, and the Pulsechain conference took place after the sacrifice period has ended, which doesn't make any sense. And they're talking about how uploading videos to YouTube means that you're targeting US people. That doesn't make any sense, even though yes, YouTube is an American company, the algorithm is global. So I don't know what they're talking about with these, really weak points. Weak points. And they're talking about, oh, he using the, sacrifice. He was talking about how Hex, he used money for lavish life, buying the world's biggest black diamond, rage marketing, I think what it's called, rage marketing, etc. I don't know, with NASCAR sponsorships, etc. The judge was just like, well, he told you it's no longer your money, so I don't care what he does with the money. We don't need to ask about how he spent it. The judge is based, guys. She's based. You want to be in a project like this, where you have a community, where the community is actually the greatest asset of Pulsechain, not the technology that we have here. We have builders here. We have narratives that's very exclusive to Pulsechain. That's never been done before. Because about that airdrop that I told you, the PRC20 clones, everything has been taken a snapshot of in Ethereum, cloned into Pulsechain. Has created a unique narrative, which is called the PRC20 narrative, which is effectively DAI, right? Richard Hart's favorite stablecoin. He talked about it a lot in Ethereum, how he loves DAI. He likes the way that's designed with a decentralized autonomous organization, as opposed to USDT and USDC, which has freeze and blacklist functions. Not good. This is against the whole decentralized ethos. Why are we here in crypto, participating with this token when at any point someone can, with, plausible reasoning, can be like, actually, nah, we're going to freeze his tokens, his USDT. This is why Richard Hart, one of his main motivators, let me make a Pulsechain full system state copy of Ethereum. I will clone DAI and make it even better, i.e. no admin keys, still the same DAI that works, and gives a chance for a narrative where you can make money off of a stablecoin. And once it reaches the $1, it'll be the first crypto-backed stablecoin. Richard Hart talked a lot about Terra Luna, the failures behind Terra Luna, and why it didn't succeed. And he mentioned it in live streams. He said, I don't want to give away too much. But he says, what if I made my own crypto-backed, fully decentralized, native stablecoin for Pulsechain? One of the main narratives as well behind PDAI is a token called Atropa. I want to show you guys real quick. This one, okay? So Atropa and Teddy Bear actually are made by the same developer. He was then doxxed and said that, hey, my name is James Ollis Osborne III, I believe. You can look him up. Imagine, he's an ex-NASA employee, ex-Intel employee, ex-Microsoft. He created Atropa, utilized Hart's Law. Do your homework. I'm not going to explain everything in this video. He created Teddy Bear as well, creating different liquidity pools, again, utilizing Hart's Law, taking advantage of the arbitrage bots. One of the greatest liquidity pools with PDAI is Atropa, effectively being a leverage of PDAI. Anyways, to keep it simple, how many X's are we away for PDAI to go to $1 is effectively 171x. You can see that it used to be 248x. And actually, I've been making videos about PDAI a lot since last year around this time. Guess how much we grew from there to where we are now? You know, from all the way to the top where we almost touched $1, almost touched 1 cent. 34x. Okay, at that time, look at this. We were absolutely crazy. Look at this. We were a 3,500x away from $1. Of course, people at that time, look at this, even the volumes were low. This is how people trade. They don't want to buy stuff when it's low volumes. They don't want to buy stuff when it's down. They look at this, oh, you know, we're not all-time high anymore. This is how people think, guys. Don't be like the majority. Be the contrary. Look at this. Look at this clip. Look at this image. Right? Everyone is going to say, oh, yeah, you're buying the dips. Ha ha ha. What are you doing buying that dead coin? You know what I mean? This is how everyone looks at you. Nice, bro. Keep holding your Doge. Are you happy with your 2x? Great. And a year from now, you still have to be working your 9 to 5. You still have to retire at 70. Yeah, keep laughing with your buddies. Guys, be the contrary. Believe in something from start to finish. I don't care what it is, whether if it's Pulsechain or not, what if it's Hex or not. Believe in something. And then, by the way, this is what I mean, the triangle. You can see memes, right? Great. By the way, celebrity coins, they're the bottom of absolute trash. Don't go into them. A lot of them rugged. So people like literally 50 Cent rugged, Jason Derulo. Like, don't trust celebrities, guys. You know what I mean? You'd think that they're rich. They don't care about money. They're doing this, I don't know, for people. But no, they're just greedy. So don't jump in on it. Okay, look into invest in communities, guys. Don't invest in insider coins. Don't invest in, you know, venture capitalist meme coins. Don't invest in celebrity coins. Save your time. Okay, don't go into pump.fun as well. That's an oversaturated. You're extremely low chance of catching a great meme coin. Okay, but that's aside from the fact. Going back to it, guys. Okay, all of a sudden, 3,500x. Yeah, people say, yeah, that's impossible. I'm not even going to bother. You're being outrageous. But look at now. Now, if you tell them it's 170x away, they're going to say, oh, that sounds more believable. I want to know more. This is exactly how things will go. I'm telling you, I'm providing competitive edge, information asymmetry. What you know is what 99% of the crypto market does not know. Use this to your advantage. Guys, I want you guys to win with me. Not financial advice, please. It's not financial advice. But I want you guys to win with me. Being in Pulsechain is huge, guys. One of the best places. I've been making videos about Pulsechain for the past year when things went lower. Look at this. This is the coin, the native coin, right? The gas fee token. It went even lower this whole time. And it has created even more opportunity. I've been DCAing because it's a powerful tool. Well, I went from like a small player to considered, you know, a dolphin in a few of those tokens that I'm mentioning. I'm a dolphin in those. Okay, with the power of DCAing. Hey, commitment. I don't care what the price dollar says. I'm just thinking about accumulating those units. I don't care what the price tag of WPLS is, what the price tag of Atropa is, what the price tag of PDAI is. I just want to hold more of that unit number. Same thing with Teddy Bear, guys. The reason why I wanted to mention Teddy Bear is I believe this can reach 1 billion market cap. You can do your maths. It's a 50x, I think. Yeah, it's a 50x away from 1 billion. Hey, people saying that it can flip Shiba Inu, what it did. So 15 billion, we'll see how it goes. I would rather take my risk, enter Teddy Bear, than hold Dogecoin and make a 2.5x tops, this bull run that we have every 4 years. It's up to you. This one, I mean, at the end of the day, do diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Segment your risks. You know, if you're holding crypto, have multiple wallets. Don't put your valuables in centralized exchanges. Don't trust them. Centralized exchanges. You've seen what happened with the FTX, Celsius. Yeah, Celsius. It could happen to anything. Even Binance. Even though I do like Binance, it could happen to Binance, guys. Don't trust centralized exchanges. Not your keys. Not your crypto. Okay? Only use centralized exchanges for what they provide as a service and use it as a petrol station. You're not going to sleep at the petrol station. You're not going to leave your car at a petrol station overnight. Okay? So go for a non-custodial. wallet, preferably a cold wallet, the one that you have, a physical one, where it's not connected, it's not a hot wallet connected to the internet, through web extensions. Well, of course, it's up to you, right? Especially if you're not holding anything above 1,000, then don't bother. But have multiple wallets. Spread out your valuables. Don't have it where it's just one attack vector. Keep that in mind. But anyways, guys, I do want to talk more about Pulsechain, the native core tokens, and the fact that Richard Hart is actually still holding the sacrifice funds that everyone put, right? It's technically his money, but guess what he's going to do with it? It's the same thing that he did with Hex, the one that did a 10,000x. Remember when we talked about it? He's going to do the same thing. He bought back Hex. When Ethereum was at its highest, you can realize there was a slight delay. Ethereum reaches peak and now starts to fall down. Hex started to come up. That's exactly what Richard Hart will do with this. And I prefer this method. Instead of him hiring and paying shillers, YouTube content creators who are disingenuous, who's going to talk about a token and then sell behind your back. No, keep it simple. Richard Hart doesn't need to pay centralized exchanges. We don't need to be on centralized exchanges to win. But shout out to Maxi for being the first centralized exchange to list Pulsechain. I've heard people talk about Coinbase is making moves. Coinbase is planning to put Pulsechain. And guys, by then it's going to be too late. If you're going to wait till a centralized exchange lists it, it's too late. Told this to my friend as well. Don't wait till tokens, meme coins get listed on centralized exchanges. And then it already done its hundreds of X's. By the time it comes to centralized exchanges, fair enough. Maybe you'll make a few X's after that, after the pump. But you're not reaping the best of benefits. Sometimes you have to, that high barrier for entry is worth getting through that, learning curve. I understand. It's tough. It doesn't make sense. I have to bridge. I have to get a non-custodial wallet. I want it all to be all in one place like Binance. I know. I made a video called How to Buy Pulsechain. I did it a week ago. Go check it out. It covers everything. It's a practical tutorial where I went through the steps myself. If you are new to crypto as well, I suggest you check out my course, link in the description. Guys, that has effectively been how crypto markets move. We've covered the different theories behind it. Global Liquidity Index is actually what runs it. The Benner's cycle, huge, 2025/2026. You can make you can achieve financial freedom where you can buy back time. The one currency that truly does not inflate. Enjoy life for what it is and praising God. I'm going to end the video there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do consider Pulsechain. It has tons of upsides. Okay? Join my Telegram link in the description. Have any questions? Ask them there or leave a comment below. Once you leave a comment, it helps boost the YouTube video in the YouTube algorithm, pushes it to other people who don't know about Pulsechain or don't even know about crypto. You're doing your part. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can support me in multiple ways. Big thank you to my YouTube members who are choosing to support my small channel. Of course, to the highlights comment from Anderson. Thanks for the video. As always, DJ, thank you guys for watching, especially you who have watched all the way to the end. I truly hope you win. We are going to make it, I believe. And I just told you the simplest formula. Hold and DCA. And believe in something to the end of the finish line. You're not here to make a 10x. You're not here to trade on a weekly swing trading, make a 30% every few days. No. To win big, you have to hold it till the finish line. This is how millionaires are made. Okay, not by 2xing. Oh, I'm going to 2x. If I did a 2x 20 times, I'm going to become a millionaire. No. That's not how things work. You won't be able to do that. You will not be able to do that. You're not going to make it like that. Okay? At the same time, diversify, segment your risks, hold. Hodl is the answer, and believe in something. If you really did your research, make a thesis on something, whether if it's Pulsechain or not, XRP, I don't really care. If you believe in something, hold till the finish line. Trust me. It's the simplest formula, yet it's so hard to do. Why? That's why they tell you the greatest of investors are good at one thing, doing nothing. The second hardest thing is what to buy, but the hardest thing is for how long to hold it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Dogecoin is going to go to $1. That's the end of the video. Take care.